Hello, BookTube. Cheers. So I've got a book haul, pretty big book haul, actually. I'm going to start off with a few things that are related to the Great Pirate Project, which is hashtag Great Pirate. Is it the or? No, it's hashtag Great Pirate Project. So I got a few books to fit into that. The first one here is pretty neat. It comes in a little box. See, a little old. You pop it open, and here's the book. And because it's in the box, look at the colors on this thing. End papers. How beautiful is that? I'll give you a heads up. It's probably going to be a long video because there's a lot of stuff here. So this is P.F. Voland Company, New York, Joliet, and Boston. Pictures and story by Wilson. I guess that's Edward. Hi there, Dixon. And this came out in 1926. It's the 12th edition. So it's definitely exciting to have. Here's the artwork's just fantastic. I haven't read this thing yet. It's the Tale of the Spanish Main, and the title's The Pirate Treasure. I probably should have said that first. But like I say, the art's just fantastic. Very happy to find this. Spot illustrations. So that's part of the Great Pirate Project. So are the next few. Where I put these is going to be strategic because we don't have a lot of room on this big old table. The next one I found is The Pirates of Colonial North Carolina by Hugh F. Rankin. This is, he's from the Department of History at Tulane. This is the 5th printing in 1976 from the Department of Cultural Resources, Divisions of Archives and History in Raleigh. And it's just what it says. It's a history of the pirates. Again, I have not read this. I had never seen this. I've seen some of these illustrations, some pretty famous. So, Colonial North Carolina, so more for the Great Pirate Project. And then here, The Pirate Prince, Barry Clifford with Peter Turchi, discovering the priceless treasures of the sunken ship Wyandotte. Yeah, but, I was going to ask my wife to go check the dog, but I think she's already doing it. Something didn't sound right. And this is Simon & Schuster, and this came out in 1993. I've got a few other of his works that I've been collecting for this project. So I was glad to find this. And that's it for Great Pirate Project. But this one sort of has a connection. I was thrilled to find this one. And this is a Robert Louis Stevenson companion. And this is by J.R. Hammond. Let's see, Macmillan Publishing Company, New York. And this is 1984. So let's see. I'm never going to read this part on screen because it's darker in the room than you would imagine. So I'll just give you an idea of what's in the content. So you have part 1 is Life of Robert Louis Stevenson, his literary achievement, and a dictionary, a Robert Louis Stevenson dictionary. Then there's the second part, the essays. The third part is the short stories. Part 4 is novels and romances. Part 5 is key to characters and locations. And then there's a list of plates. So this would be typical. Very happy to have this. We did Treasure Island not too long ago. And then this next one, I have the big collected set of they look exactly like this, same publisher, of Ralph Waldo Emerson, but not this. This is the Heart of Emerson's Journals, and it's edited by Bliss Perry. Happy to find it. We'll go with the other volumes. I'm missing one or two that I'm always on the lookout for. Let me see. The paper's a little hard to handle here. So there's the front is there with the author, and this is Houghton Mifflin and Company, but it's Riverside Press out of Cambridge in 1926. So excerpts from his journals, which are originally in 10 volumes, which I would never read. I mean, I dip in and out of them, but it's nice to have this, and an editor took the time to do it. Next one has a little bit of a science fiction connection, and now with all the stuff going on with going back to the moon, this was fun to find. This is The Making of a Moon, the story of the Earth Satellite Program by Arthur C. Clarke. So glad to have this. A little beat up, but there he is. Still excited to find it. I may even have read it back when I was a kid. This is a first edition, 1957. Yeah, it went for $3.50. So, give you some idea. Some folks credit Clarke with the invention of the artificial satellite. That's probably pushing it a little too far, but he did do a lot to promote it. And I've always been a fan of his science fiction, especially Childhood's End. So, there's that. This one's a bit of American history. This is Massacres of the Mountains, a history of the Indian Wars of the Far West, 1850 to 1875. I'm going to get some glare off this one. A big old beast of a thing. Let's see. This is Archer House Incorporated out of New York. And this is no date, so it could very well be a reprint. It could be almost anything. I could look it up. Somebody's done the research on it, I'm sure. So we will see that, a little bit of Western Americana. This next one, I really like the print in this one. This is Collected Lyrics of Edna St. Vincent Millay. I think this goes with, yeah, it says companion to the collected sonnets, which I don't have. Really like the print on this. Nice big print. Really clear. When did this come out? This is Harper and Row Publishers, New York, Evanston, and London. And the last date I see on here is 1939 because they're pulling together the dates for the books. So the first one's from Renaissance, the second is from 2nd April, and so on. Somebody taking off out there. Alright. This next one I've seen before. I Married Adventure by Osa Johnson. Like this cover. I have seen it around, I've never read it. Has a book plate in it for Charles H. Kendall. Scene from Africa. And this is J.P. Lippincott Company, Philadelphia, New York, London, and Toronto. There you go. And this came out in 1940. So we'll see. It's a travel adventure type of thing. Let's see if I get any other. I know it's chock full of hyenas and rhino. So, who knows? Now the next project is going to be, this next part here is going to take some work because they're all in slip cases. I was going to do them by size. I'm just going to do them as they come up. And I probably want to move this out of the way and be prepared to start stacking books. So these are all Heritage Press. I'm going to start right off here. They're all in slip cases. I'm a big fan of Heritage Press. I like it when they come with the sand glass, which was a little paper that explained what they were, a little bit of club news. This is Eugenie Grandet by Balzac and Heritage Press New York. You always want to look for the artist on these because sometimes they're quite good. This is introduction by Richard Aldington and illustrations by Renee Bensoussan. No idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but not a novel I've read. Okay, so they had color, but they also have these little, well, that one's sort of, so very nice in a slipcase, but that's the thing, the slipcases are going to slow me down. So, always careful when you pop them in that you don't do it half and half and bend up the paper. So there's the first one. Let's see if we can get this to work. Yeah, we'll stick with the French here. Next one's in 2 volumes, and this is Les Miserables. So always let the air, because you don't want to be cranking on them. So if you get the air in there, so like I said, 2 volumes, has the sand glass, a little newsletter. Let's see how we do this. Gotta get to the title page here. I'm missing it somehow. Okay. A novel by Victor Hugo, a translation by Raxall, authorized by the author, printed with a new introduction by Andre Marot, and illustrations by Len Ward, who I really like. Am I getting a lot of glare there? It's sort of hard for me to tell. Give you an idea. I read Les Miserables in a paperback, obviously a huge paperback, when I was younger, but it's been a long time. So I'll just show one of those. You get the idea. So that's the 2-volume set. I do have other Heritage Presses that are multi-volume. Montaigne is 3 volumes. Tolstoy's War and Peace, I've got, that's 2 volumes. What's this one? This is volume 2. Put them over there. What do we have next? The Ambassadors, Henry James. Here. This one, illustrations by Leslie Sahlberg and a preface by the author. Heritage Press, New York. The art in this one's really nice. It has that really elegant feel. I'm going through these rather quick, I know. I could spend more time on each volume, but then the video would be really long. What do we have here? Scarlet Letter. I think this is one of the older ones. I do like the boards. Has the sand glass. I don't remember this one telling me who the illustrator was. Oh, it's W.A. Dwiggins. When did this come out? This is 1946. See if I can find a representative illustration. Yeah, right here. They might be coming out a little washed out because of the light. There's really not much light out. It's 35 degrees Fahrenheit here and gray skies, which describes the weather for a good portion of the year. Let's do this. We'll go with this one here. So this is not one I know. This is by Max Beerbohm. It's got to be fairly well known to even be in this set. Look at this. Very tall and skinny. Here's the end papers. It's called Zuleika Dobson, or an Oxford Love Story. Has a preface by Douglas Cleverton An illustration by Gordon Him. I'll put that there for you. Like I say, some of these, the sizes and shapes of these books can be a little unusual. So this was originally from 1911. This edition is 1960. So 60 plus years. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, here we have big color illustrations by the artist here. And let's see. So I know they had some like little spot illustrations. And as you can see, there's a spyglass right there. Or the sand glass. Yeah, let me see if I get it up. Right there. So, there we go. Moving right along. Here we have Waverly by Walter Scott. There's the box. Boards are the same. Sand glass. Getting to the title page is going to be a trick. This is illustrated by Robert Ball with an introductory essay by Andrew Lang. You can see the style of illustration, which does go with the story, right? See if I can get a big color illustration on the interior here. Yeah, oh. Sort of charming. Let's see, where do we want to go on that? Oh, we'll go to Victor Hugo, The Toilers of the Sea. Little bit fading on this one. You see how the slipcase does protect it and protects the book, but the spine is vulnerable. Victor Hugo's The Toilers of the Sea. Let's get the title page here, guy. Why is that the page I always have trouble opening? Translation by Isabel F. Hapgood. Introduction by Matthew Josephson, the famous biographer is what I'd say he was. With wood engravings by Marangoni. Let me see if I get this. This light is really a challenge today. Yeah, maybe it's better here. When I sat down, I didn't think it'd be that big a deal. And 1961 on this. Let's see, there's woodcuts. One of the things that's hard for me to get across is the size and how they feel in your hand. They're just really nice. Let me see that in here. Like I say, I like to keep those sand glass. They have a lot of information on type and paper. So like, now I didn't mention that, how the paper feels, but it's different from each one. What do we have here? This is one I didn't know. This is Peter Ibbotson, and this is by, it's going to be easier for me to read up here. It's a nice big old giant thing. What is my phone? Oh, NFL. I see it on the screen there. Here's the sand glass with a description. And it's George du Maurier, a relative of Daphne du Maurier, I guess. Illustrated by the author, so you can get a... this is not one I know. So this will be a treat to find out about, and that's what I'll do. I start with this. It'll tell me George du Maurier. Let's see. Did it mention here whether he's related to... He died in London in 1896 at the age of 62. And Daphne du Maurier is the granddaughter. So that's interesting. Talent ran in the family, I guess. Yeah, okay, this one's going to be a little trickier. Just squeeze them together. Line them up. Next, The Deer Slayer by James Fenimore Cooper. That one's got a little bit of wear on it. There we go. Sandglass is right there. Introduction by John T. Wintrick and illustration by Edward A. Wilson. Again, Heritage Press out of New York, and this one is 1961 also. Let's see what we get. So, A Tale of Early America. Let's see what I get else for the artwork. I'm getting there. Boy, this thing's already run long. I was going to do it in a couple videos like that now. I'll run through it in one and just do it really fast. So we're at 20 plus minutes. Here is Joseph Conrad, Nostromo. Again, this is you get a feel for how big the books are. This is A Tale of the Seaboard with an introduction by Rupert Croft Cook and illustration by Freitas, Heritage Press, New York, of course. Quite beautiful. There's the sandglass tucked in the page. Let's see what we got there. Some of the art. Oh, let's do another piece of art on this one since we got it open. I'm starting to run out of space over here. Let's see what we got here. We got a bruiser here. I love this one. This is Samuel L. Morison doing the journals and other documents in life and voyages of Christopher Columbus. Samuel L. Morison did a famous biography of Columbus. Beautiful design on the outside of this. Here is the sandglass, which you don't want to lose. Here are the end papers. It's a big book. It's again, Freitas is doing the illustration, just like in the last volume. This is also from, oh no, this is from 1963. Let me get some of these illustrations for you. Just amazing. I find that I really like the artist. I don't know anything about him other than these books. Forget these spot illustration, but there's some pretty impressive major pieces of art that they really dedicated the space to, which is quite nice. Here, Fourth Voyage, 1502 to 1504. Yeah, I'm thrilled to have this. Morison, who edited and translated this, is one of my favorites anyway. I'm currently reading his naval operations in World War II. Big old multi-volume set that just, I'll spend the rest of my life tracking down all the volumes, but they're all good, the ones I've read, and I've read a few. All right, where do we want to go next? Let's go The Brothers Karamazov, Dostoevsky, and again, a good sized book. Nice cover. You get your sandglass right here. I don't have to say that every time, do I? This is Constant Garnett as a translator. Introduction by Avram Yarmolinsky, illustrated with lithographs by Eichenberg, New York, the Heritage Press. Try to hold that up there. You're not going to be able to see it, are you? No. That's so weird that. Just love some of these illustrations in these volumes. This guy's having a bad day. I don't know if you can hear my German Shepherd puppy out there tearing away at the food bowl. Alright. Then, what do we have here? Tristan and Isolde, The Romance of. Sign there. Very different feeling paper on this one, very textured. Little end papers. And there. Isn't that art something? This is as retold by Joseph Bédier, translated from the French by Bellick and Rosenfeld. Introduction by Patrick Kolum, and illustration by Sergei Ivanov. And really pretty illustrations there. This thing came out in 1945. I like the size of the text, very nice. And then here's some of the artwork. All over it. Yeah, all right, let's keep going with this thing. I'm getting close, I'm telling you. There's no Steve Pile pyramid or whatever you want to call it at the end of this. This is a Wrightson Man, another big one. Here's the cover. There goes my dog. Thomas Paine. Introduction by Howard Fast. Some of you older readers will remember him as a popular novelist. And illustrations by Lynn Ward again, who I really like. This one came out. This edition came out in 1961. Let's see if we can get you some idea of how they do it here. Nice, big, easy to read, clear print, and then these types of illustrations. So a very important book. Glad to have it in the library. If I get this one in here. So I go with these little, I do the little corners. If I have to, I'll twist it like this to make sure it goes in, and then up. Here, let's get this one. I'm almost there. This is Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. An idea of how it looks. Again, pretty good size. Translated from the German by H.T. Lowe Porter. Introduction essay by the author. Illustrated with wood engravings by Felix Hoffman. 2 volumes in one, the Heritage Press, New York. That would have been 1962. There's some of the illustrations. And there's a lot of illustrations. All right. Only a couple more to go, I promise. Look how long this video is. Okay. And this one here I really enjoy. good size. This thing's pretty big. I don't know if you can see the little design there. The paper on this is fantastic. Virgil's Eclogues, illustrated by Veritas. Introduction by Moses Hadas. And C.S. Calverley is the one who did the translation. He was a poet in his own right. I think he was... I think it was Oxford he was associated with. Beautifully illustrated. Big print. It's laid out beautifully. And then one more to go. It's even bigger than this one, if you can believe it. So I'm going to have to get some shelves, obviously some shelf space for these, right? This next one's going to be a real challenge. And it's this thing. So you hold it up against my... it's big. Okay. And this is Aeschylus, the Oresteia. Again, really nice paper. This is introduction by Rex Warner. It's illustrated by Michael Ayrton. And it's translated from the Greek by E.D.A. Morsehead. You see that right there? So it has Agamemnon, the Libation Bearers, and the Furies, and then with some notes. This is from 1961. There's a sand glass. We'll take that out of there and let you see some of the illustrations. The print is fantastic. Let's go that. And let me give you an illustration. So I'll give you an idea. So very, very nice. Glad to have all of these. Nice little book haul. Nice. Now, of course, right, the challenge is always to find shelf space, right? So these things all, you saw most of them from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. You can collect these. These are a good place to start collecting because they're beautiful books, interesting artists, interesting titles, and you don't have to spend a whole lot to buy them or find them. I have, like I say, I have other ones, and I've always enjoyed them. You got to be a little careful with the slip cases, but as you could see on a few of them, the slip cases really help keep them in good shape. So I hope everyone's well. Cheers. Don't forget the Great Pirate Project. Also in 2023, with Faith in Books, we'll be doing Horatio Hornblower 2023 or it's Hornblower 2020. Something. I'll put a hashtag down below. And anybody can jump in on that. We're going to read them in the... not in the order they were written, but in the order of the book's occurrence in the series. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got like 5 pages left for The Great Hunt, The Wheel of Time. I just finished a Patrick O'Brian and just started into Surgeon Mate, I think it is. So tons of stuff going on around here with reading. I've had a good little run. Maybe I'll do a video about that sometime. But I hope you're all doing well, and thank you, BookTube.